What's up, everybody? Big Herc, fresh out, and you're tuned into our new series, Prison Stories. You're going to hear a story from somebody who's either lived it, witnessed it, or experienced it. These stories are going to turn the hairs on your back up and have your motherfucking toes curling. These stories ain't no fucking joke. You guys think this fucking is a game? This ain't no motherfucking game. Anything could happen to you in prison. And these are prison stories.
So, suicide in prison, man, that's a tough subject for me and probably a lot of other people that know, because they were locking us up in prison and basically forgetting about us, giving us whatever number they can imagine and making it stick. So in the process of that, I mean, a lot of people give up hope. And they either give up hope and then turn into the hardest writer that you can be, or they just kill, or they take themselves out the game, as we say. So just in the first yard, in my first, being a teenager in my first yard, I seen like 3 suicides in my building alone. And in there, it's a lot of, even though you may not think it, but it's a lot of drugs in prison. So people will take the easy way and basically put the heroin in their veins or whatever and take themselves out. And one time my home, he's a brother, and he's from Maytre, Frosty. He spent the night in front of the cell, basically just chopping it up about life. Not the whole night, but because this lockup is 9 o'clock. But that whole evening, he chopped it up. We had no idea what he was going through. He gambled, played softball, all the stuff in there, and he was they big homie. So, man, the next morning after, and he gave us some of his stuff. And that's a warning. Now, growing up, I know now that's a warning sign. When somebody about to take themselves out, a lot of times they give their stuff away. Like, here, take this. You know, I ain't gonna need it where I'm going. So that morning, when they got to his cell, from where my cell was, his cell was down at an angle. They got to his cell, they was hitting his cell. Hey, bang, 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 bang. Hey, man, take your sheet down. He didn't take his sheet down. So I'm looking like, what's up with Frosty down there? So they go in there and they take the sheet down. When they take the sheet down, he had been dead the whole night. So I guess he shot himself with the heroin. And then on top of that, I guess he didn't get it the first time, so he did it again. And then finally he fell forward, bam, and bashed his head on a stool. So on top of the heroin, he would have bled out anyway. And that was like the closest person that I had personally knew that had just took themselves out of life like that. But as far as like other races and stuff, it was happening all the time. Cause I was in Folsom, and this white dude, he got a letter from his girl, and she basically told him, man, I'm moving on, I'm taking the kids and everything. And we found out after the fact, because I only seen the end result, but we found out after the fact. So the white dude come out, he like, all right, brother, it's been real. And jumped off the 5th tier. Now, Folsom is like this. Folsom is 5 tiers high, 4 sections. So it's like 1,500 people in one building. 1,500. So somebody basically coming and announcing, all right, brothers, and then jumping. But when he jumped off the tier, there was somebody on the ground. So when he jumped off the tier, he hit the person on the ground. The person on the ground died instantly, guts, everything. But the person that jumped, he lived. Life is crazy, but he lived. And to see that right in my face, just to see it, I mean, it ain't cool. It's something I wish I could unforget. Then another time, I'm on a tier, getting ready to go to breakfast, and in Folsom, the doors open, and then you can see when the door opens, but it opened only a little bit, so we couldn't fully get out. And that's because my neighbor basically went down the tier and said, hey, my cellie done hung himself. So when we're walking by the cell trying to go eat breakfast, he hanging on the stoplight. I mean, hanging on the socket, the plug, I mean. I'm trying not to look, but I wish I could unsee it again. But the most painfulest one of all, I was in Vacaville, and I was in the hole basically for over familiarity because somebody knew me there. So if you know in prison, if you know somebody like a CO or somebody like that, if you ain't cool with him and they tell you gonna be out of there. So they sent me to the hole. And I had a neighbor that always was rapping, just repetitive, always rapping. And every so often he would talk to me, but Vacaville is a medical facility. It's a lot of people that's off there. So you learn to adjust because some of the people there are sane, but some are off. So you learn to kind of coexist. But when you're in a hole, everybody together. So I used to hear him, and he used to ask me for like food, and I'll give it to him because there's nothing. Then one day the music stopped, and the police came by to look. He had just got done talking to me like 20 minutes before that. And so the police, next thing you know, they ran in there, and they have a cut down kit that they use, like a little package with scissors and stuff like that for suicides. So when they cut him down, they laid him in front of my cell because we're neighbors. So I'm having to watch them pump his stomach, and it's seeming unreal. I have to watch them try to bring this man back to life. And I thought there were points where I thought he was breathing, but they had to cover up the fact that it took them so long to find him in a place where they're supposed to be checking like every 10 minutes. So they had to cover that up and say, okay, we got a pulse, but he died. And that right there, that really messed me up too, because he was a cool dude, and then you get stuck with wondering, could I have done more to help that man?
For all the viewers and subscribers who would like to become part of the supporting crew at $4.99 a month and contribute to the Fresh Out channel, this is what you'll be getting. An exclusive look at all up-and-coming Spreads episodes. Learn what ingredients and recipes are used in prison to elevate the eating experience and how to get creative with what's available. Get your name in the credits. By becoming a member to the channel, you are directly helping us create better content, and as an acknowledgement, your name will be shown in the credits of the Fresh Out interviews. You will also gain exclusive members only access to footage that has never been seen before from our archives, unreleased episodes, behind the scenes, bloopers, and that gritty stuff you guys like to talk about, but we can't really share on the regular YouTube channel. Biannually, you'll also get a commissary package. First 6 months, membership will get an apparel package of Fresh Out clothing, and the next 6 months, you guys will get a spreads package with all the recipes and ingredients you'll need to bust that fat ass spread. Last but not least, as an additional perk for supporting the channel and helping us create bigger and better content, all members get an exclusive discount code to use in the Fresh Out commissary store. You'll receive 10% off all orders, no matter how big or small, and this is for unlimited use, not a one-time thing. You'll get to use this 10% whenever you want, as long as you're a paid member. All this will be available in the community tab for all you paid exclusive members. You will also get to represent the Wig Splitter crew. All members to the channel will receive this dope Wig Splitter badge icon that appears next to your name whenever you post on the channel. I've got your back on the open talks, and we'll be able to answer your questions as a priority. And sometimes, man, you just got to represent. We also support non-profit charities. After YouTube takes their cut of the $4.99, we will donate a percentage of all membership revenue to a worthwhile cause every quarter. Well, that's it, you guys. We hope you guys take that step and become a paid member and support us so we can travel to your state or your town and do an interview and keep bringing you this dope content. But remember, guys, the channel's still free, but there are a lot of perks to becoming a paid member. Big Herc, Fresh Out. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.